You're miserable at the job that you're at, and you're ready to just let it go. So you're ready to find another job. Before you do that, let's talk and let's reason this thing through. Okay? For so long, I went through the cycle of getting a job, becoming sufficient in that job, going above and beyond, and feeling like the services that I was providing should have been worth more, right? I felt like they weren't paying me enough and that I should have been compensated more just based off of the duties and what they asked me to do extra or something of that sort. So, if they didn't give me what I asked for, or if things didn't start to look better, I decided that I was going to go. We decide that we were going to go and look for other jobs, right? Because we feel like we're just so unhappy in the job that we're at. So then we go to the next job. Things are looking pretty good. You know, it's a lot better than it was at your last job, and you just don't have the stress that you used to have anymore because this new job is just better than the last one. Well, now you're starting to have to deal with employees, and you're getting comfortable with people, and you're starting to let people into your business, and these people are starting to actually take your business and use it against you, because that's just what people do sometimes. And then you start to have issues. You start allowing the stress from the job to get to you because people know your business, so they're going to make it hard on you then. And then guess what? You find yourself miserable once again, looking for something else because that just didn't work out. So now you're on the hunt for the next job, and the next job is going to have the exact same thing that you just experienced at the last two jobs. You just feel like, you know, I'm going to try this one out and see if it's any different, but you get the same result every single time. That's exactly what I was experiencing. I kept realizing that I was looking for a job to give me what I was asking for. I was looking for a job to create my future and a job to make my life what it needs to be. When ultimately that is our job to do. Every job has someone that you have to look up to. You have to be supervised by. You have to be told what to do. I got sick of listening or letting other people tell me what to do. I got sick of that because I'm realizing that you're telling me that I should be doing this, but I'm seeing that it's hurting me more than it's helping me. I'm seeing that I'm in your system and you're breaking me down. But then the moment that I try to do something to build myself up, you continue to keep breaking me down, because guess what? It's not in your interest for me to be up. You know that if I'm up, then I'm awake and I can see what you're doing. And I'm not okay with that. And I want to build more for myself. But if I'm asleep, I'm not going to see any of that. And so they have us in that predicament. And we don't know which way to go. Right? And so we feel like we're just so stuck. I know you want to go find another job, but I'm telling you that cycle of feeling stuck is never going to change, because it's a system that they have put in place, and it's a system that they want you to follow. This is what they want you to do while you're in their system. Yeah, you're bucking and getting mad, but if you want something to do, go do your own thing. Don't expect for them to change and rearrange their whole thing, what they're doing, to meet your demands. And I'm telling you right now, I got tired of going to look for the next job. I said, I'm going to create one myself. If I'm not happy If I'm not happy with the job that I'm at, or if I'm not happy at any job, that means that I need to make a change. If you've had more than 3 or 4 or 5 jobs, okay, with no angle on where you're going, that means that you need to learn a skill. And you need to learn something that's going to help you so that way that you can create something for yourself. Because guess what? It's never going to stop. You're never going to be happy where you are. You're going to always look for the next thing. Always. Always. If you want a different outcome, if you want something different in life, you have to create that for yourself. I'm creating the job that I want for myself. I'm tired of begging somebody else to create my vision. And you should be too. You should be fed up with begging and pleading and asking people to create the vision that you want. Because it's not worth it when you can create that. You can create the job that you want. Why sit here and cry about how this job is treating you and that job is treating you, but then you don't have a plan for what you're going to do for yourself? You are only dependent on them. And they have you right where they want you. It doesn't matter if you go to this job or the next job or the next job. You know that you're not going to be fulfilled, especially if you know that you have some things that you want to do in life. Get to it. Because another job is not going to help you get to it. I'm telling you that you must learn a new skill. Because it's going to it's doing nothing but adding an investment within you. That skill is an investment for your life. Not for just anybody else, but mainly for you. And now that you've learned it, you get to go off and do something that you know that can't nobody take away from you. See, a job, you learn their skills, right? But when they get tired of you, when they don't want to pay you, when they they're done dealing with you, guess what? They can snatch it all away. They can snatch theirs away from you at any given time. But if you create your own thing, create your own ability to create finances and passive income for yourself, there's no way that they can come in and take anything away from you, because that's what skills build. Financial freedom. I don't have to depend on them, the person that has a cap on me, that tells me how much money I can make and how much money I can't make. If I push myself, I can make an unlimited amount and not stress over the worries of what this job has on me. But I got to be willing to believe in me. I got to be willing to tell myself I'm ready to do this. And I'm going to stop playing. I'm going to stop blaming everybody else and saying that this is the reason why I'm not here and this is the reason why I'm not there. Instead, create what you want to happen. Create what you want to happen, the life that you want. Create the perfect job that you want. Stop complaining about all these different jobs and create the job that you want. I wanted to be a digital marketer / content creator. I'm creating the job that I want by studying the skill, by helping others learn this skill. I'm doing exactly what my mission is set out. I'm doing what I set out to do, which is to educate, inform people that you do not have to be in this system. But we got to believe in us. And I'm right here in it. doing it right here with you guys, because I want you to see that, look here, it doesn't matter where you are. Just start. Start learning a skill that can benefit you, that can help the next person. Something that can't nobody take away from you. No matter what you do, you can take that job away from me, but you can't take these skills that I have within me. These skills, I know I can perfect these and build upon these. And guess what? I can turn this into whatever I need to turn it into. Why? Because I have this skill. I don't just have a job. I have skills. Right? That's what we got to do. Instead of jumping from the next job to this job, no, what am I doing that for? I'm going to be unhappy at that job too. Somebody asked me, they said, if you're so unhappy, why don't you just leave to go to another job? What? No, I'm creating my own in the process of being at this 9 to 5. Because we realize that we have to do this the smart way. By learning the skill while you're at this 9 to 5. Help others to learn this skill. Build upon your foundation. Because it's time out for the complaining. It's time out for saying that this person is treating me this way and that person is treating me that way, and I just can't stand it. They done let me this and they done let me go. They done now they cut my hours back, and now they're taking everything away from me. Guess what? They're gonna keep on doing it. That's what I realize. I can keep fighting them, but what for? This is their system. I want a system of my own. I want to build upon my own foundation. I don't want to just be putting in work for you and only getting a small piece of the cut when I know I can have a whole piece of the pie. I know I can have the whole pie. I just got to be willing to get it the same way that you were willing to get it. The same way you created that pie for yourself, I have to create the pie for myself too. That's what you have to realize. These people that we work for, they created their own pie. That's why they can eat from it. And let other people eat from it too. But if you want to have a whole pie of your own, you got to create your own pie. Right? And then you got to be willing to allow other people to eat from it too. And once you start seeing some people getting upset, frustrated, and, they want their own, that's when you need to teach them how to get their own. See, that's the thing with jobs. They put you up. They get you to a little place where you're okay, but they don't ever teach you how to create your own. So you're forever stuck working for them because they don't teach you how to create your own, right? So the way that you want to do it is learn a skill so that way you'll know how to create your own. Okay? You'll know how to create your own, and you won't have to worry about depending on somebody else because you don't know any other way. Because they've only taught you how to do theirs, but they didn't teach you how to go out and do your own. By learning a skill, that's you committing to going out there and learning, being willing to learn what they were willing to learn to create their journey. That's you committing to that. Learning that skill is you committing to that. Because everybody has to start somewhere. And it starts by advancing your knowledge. Advance your knowledge so that you can be so knowledgeable about something that you can really, really help somebody, inspire somebody to do something. And they will naturally want you to create the jobs that they need. You can create the jobs that you want your employees to have. And you don't have to be the same supervisor or manager or whatever it is that that you were to your employer or that your employer was to you. You don't have to be that way. You can create your own job. But you have to be willing to have the mindset to prepare yourself to say, I'm willing to actually do this and take it serious. I want this because I'm tired of playing around. I'm done telling myself that I want this and then not actually acting on it. When you learn a new skill, you act on it. I'm acting on it because not only am I learning that skill, but I'm helping others to learn that same skill. And that's what we must do. That's exactly what we must do if we really want to help somebody. That's exactly what a job is. You helping somebody. They helping you. That job that you're working for is helping you right now by keeping you afloat because you don't believe in yourself. That's what they doing. So you got to help yourself if you really want to get out of that. Because they understand that you really don't know. And they can play on that. That's why they can pay you what they want to pay you. Because really, you don't even know your worth. How can you give somebody something that they don't even know their worth? They tell you what they're going to pay you and then you accept it. Instead of challenging it and saying, what in the world? No. I have too much work to do and you want me to accept this? Oh no. You're going to have to do something. We need to negotiate some terms. It's no longer a negotiation. It's you doing what they say do. And that's why if you don't want to do that, you need to create your own way. Create your own job. Stop depending on somebody else to make that way for you. Because that's not what it's there for. It's there because if you really, really need to know, let's take it like this, okay? A child gets out of high school. They don't want to go to college. They don't want to do this. They don't know what they want to do. They just know that they're just out there right now. They start going to work for a job, right? They start going to work for a job. That child is eventually going to see that this is not what I want. This ain't what I want. I don't want to be working day in and day out for a little bit of pay. I got to give all my time for this amount of money. Y'all, when I see my very first paycheck, I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. I said, oh my gosh, what is this? And I was a server at that, y'all. I was blown away. Y'all talking about $2.13 an hour plus tips. Now, of course, you get some good tips, but $2.13 an hour, y'all. Come on. That's going to make a person realize that, okay, wait a minute now. You're trying to pay me $2.13 saying that that's all an hour of my time is worth. I could have been creating so much in that time that I gave you an hour. And the only thing you're willing to give me is $2.13. We got to reevaluate our worth. Because if you don't know your worth, you don't know what to ask for. Right? I got tired of asking other people because I know that my worth is way too valuable for me to be begging somebody for something extra. I know it. I was like, no, I'm not with this anymore. I'm not about to be begging nobody. Like, this is not it. And then the people at the top they're not really trying to be there for you either because they're getting a piece of the cut too. No, I don't want to do that. I'll create my own before I sit here and depend on y'all. I see the system working together. I see it all. Everybody sit at the table together. Everybody do. So if you all sitting at the table together, how much benefit do I have? You know what I'm saying? What kind of benefit are you giving me? Because whatever you bring down to me, it looks like garbage every single time. And you want me to be happy about something that should have already happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to reevaluate. Because I was seeing real quickly that was not it. I said, let me create my own way. I don't like that. You profiting off of me? Oh no. Oh no. Let me make my own way. I know if I can, if I'm willing to give you an hour of my time for $2.13, how much money are you making off of me? That's what I want to know, because you're not doing the work that I'm doing. So therefore you cut back all that time. So how much money are you really making off of me? Because without me, you're not able to do the work. Right? Without me, you're not even able to do the work. Get the work done. Without the worker bee, who's going to get the job done? But see, I don't realize that. That's the thing. We don't realize that until we get to that point where we're like fed up, like, hold on now. They doing all this, but if I'm not here, who is going to do the work? Who is going to do it? Because it's a lot of work. And you expect me to think that somebody else want to do all this work? Come on. Like, if you're not seeing it, if you're tired and you keep telling yourself that you're tired and you keep saying, I need to find another job, I need to find this, look here, create one for yourself and stop depending on them. The same way that they created that job for you is the same way that you can create that job for yourself. I can't say that enough. You need to get in your mindset and realize who you are, know what you're good at, and help somebody else be good at that too. And get on it. Because you sit around waiting for them to do something for you, and that's not going to happen. They're not here to support you. They're not here to build you. They're here to keep you where you are, so that way that you don't step on anyone else's toes. Because they don't need too many of us woke. Right? So remember, they'll downplay you and make you look crazy. Because guess what? They're going to try to make it look like anything just so that way that you can go ahead and get on off of their back. They don't need this messing up the rest of them. So let's go ahead and just throw that bad apple out. Because we don't need to get into the other ones. So you're considered the bad apple. But no, you're just the one that realized that, okay, you paying me this much for all this time, and I have all these gifts and talents, and all I got to do is share them with somebody, and I can make as much money as you making. Let me get on this. Let me do this, not for them, but for myself, because I realize that it can be done. And I realize that the only reason why it hasn't been done is probably because I'm doubting myself. I'm scared. I might be lazy. And I might feel like I need somebody to depend on, but you don't need nobody to depend on but you and the Most High. That's all you need to depend on. And get up and do the thing. You're not going to be perfect in the very beginning. You're not going to have it all figured out in the very beginning. You will figure it out as you go. But create that job that you want instead of sitting there crying about this job. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you're going to be tired. But guess what? You're doing it for you. Right? At the end of the day, you know who's about to get the cut, get the main cut. You're going to get the whole pie and not a piece of the pie because you put in the work for it. Because you prepared your mindset for it. And you told yourself that I'm going to do what I have to do to get to where I need to get. If I don't know something, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to invest in myself by learning a new skill. Taking the time to learn that skill. Not giving up on myself. Continuing to show up and show myself that if this is what you want, then you have to get it. You got to believe in it. You got to work in it. And you have to do it continuously every day. Keep that faith and that strength, knowing that, look here, if they did it, so can I. There is no difference. You know why? Because guess what? You're doing the job that they say that they did. That means if they can do it, You can do it because you're already doing what they did. Come on now, y'all. You're already doing it. Now do it for yourself. Create something for yourself. That's what you have to do in order to be successful. That's what you have to do in order to not go find another job. Because guess what? You're going to be forever job hopping. You're going to be forever not liking this job and not liking that job. What's the point of me getting over here and seeing that this this place is miserable and unhappy, just like the same place that I left? Because I really wasn't supposed to be there anyway. I forced myself to be there because I just knew that I needed it at that time. But now you must build back on you. I'm helping you to realize that it's time to build on you now. It's time to start looking at you again. See what you're good at. Bring it to the forefront the same way that you're doing it for them. Put it back in yourself and do it for yourself. Create the job for yourself. Because all it takes is that consistency and you wanting the thing that you say that you want more than anything. They had to push themselves to get what they wanted. And they pushed themselves so hard to the point to where everybody else wanted what they wanted. That's why you're working their job. Now, what you have to do is push yourself so hard to the point to where you get what you want. And let everybody see what you want as well. So that way that you can create the job that you envision. It's time out for working for somebody else and saying that I can't do nothing for myself. Learn a new skill. Build upon that skill and help somebody with that skill. I hope that you guys enjoyed this message. I thank y'all so much. I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.